Listen up. Did you know that 89% of guys unknowingly make themselves invisible to the women they actually want to meet? I'm about to show you 5 psychological triggers, backed by real science and field-tested in the real world, that completely flip the script and get her to approach you first. In the next 11 minutes and 49 seconds, you'll learn exactly how to stop chasing and start attracting. But here's the thing most guys miss. It's not about looks, money, or lines. It's about what you do in the 3 seconds after your eyes meet hers. Get it wrong? You disappear. Get it right? She walks over and says hi first. Let me show you how. Picture this. You see her across the room, and she's exactly your type. And then, that familiar sinking feeling starts to creep in. That little voice in your head starts debating, should I go talk to her? What would I even say? I'll probably just get rejected. Again. Look, you're tired of it. You're tired of always having to make the first move, putting yourself out there and getting shut down. It leaves you feeling totally invisible to the women you actually want. It's frustrating, it's demotivating, and honestly, after a while, it can make you feel like there's something wrong with you. But what if you could flip the entire script? What if instead of you always doing the chasing, you could use 5 simple, science-backed, nonverbal cues to make yourself so magnetic, so approachable, so undeniably intriguing, that feels compelled to talk to first? In this video, I'm going to break down the exact psychological tricks that shift the power dynamic and turn you from the hunter into the hunted in the best way possible. And let's be clear, these aren't manipulative tactics. This is about building genuine, powerful confidence from the inside out. The first and arguably most powerful trick is what I call the gaze that invites. We're talking about strong, confident, but relaxed eye contact. Now I know what you're thinking. Isn't that just staring? Isn't that creepy? And you're right. There's a razor-thin line between confident and creepy, and that difference is everything. Creepy staring is tense, aggressive, and frankly needy. Confident eye contact is relaxed, warm, and brief. Here's the mistake most guys make. They see a woman they're attracted to, quickly glance at her, feel a jolt of anxiety, and immediately dart their eyes away, usually down at the floor. What does this signal to her? It screams submission, nervousness, and a total lack of confidence. You've just non-verbally told her that you're intimidated, so let's flip that. Next time you're out, I want you to practice this. Scan the room in a relaxed way. When your eyes land on a woman you find interesting, let your gaze meet hers and hold it for just 2 to 3 seconds. That's the magic number. It's just long enough to register interest, but not so long that it gets weird. And as you hold her gaze, your face needs to be relaxed. No tense forehead, no weird, forced expressions, just a calm, neutral look. Then, after those 2 or 3 seconds, look away. Don't jerk your head away like you've been caught. Just break eye contact calmly, as if you were momentarily distracted. What you're doing here is demonstrating social confidence. You're showing that you're not afraid to acknowledge her, but your world doesn't stop because of it. The science behind this is pretty cool. Sustained, steady eye contact signals dominance and self-assurance. Studies on attraction suggest that mutual gaze can help trigger the release of chemicals in the brain, like oxytocin, which are linked to feelings of connection, literally helping create that butterflies feeling. When a woman gets this kind of confident, non-needy eye contact, it sparks her curiosity. She'll often do what's called a double glance. She'll look at you, look away, and then quickly look back to see if you're still looking. That second look, that's your green light. Trick number 2 pairs perfectly with the first one. A genuine smile. This sounds so obvious, but you'd be amazed how many guys mess this up. They make eye contact, anxiety kicks in, and they're left with either a deadpan, intimidating expression or a forced, creepy-looking grin. A real smile is one of the most powerful and disarming tools you have. It instantly lowers social barriers and signals that you're friendly, approachable, and safe. Think about it from her perspective. Women are constantly scanning their environment for safety cues. A man who looks angry or closed off is a walking red flag. But a guy who offers a warm, genuine smile after a moment of eye contact, he's a beacon of safety and confidence. You've just non-verbally told her, I see you, I'm friendly, and you're welcome to interact with me. So, how do you do this right? Right after you've held that 3-second eye contact and you're looking away, or if she gives you that double glance, that's your cue to smile. But not just any smile. You need to master the scientific term for a real, genuine smile. A fake smile just uses the muscles around your mouth. A Duchenne smile involves both your mouth, your eyes, It's the kind of smile that makes the corners of your eyes crinkle up. Here's a quick exercise. Think of a genuinely happy memory or a joke that actually made you laugh out loud. Now smile. See that little crinkle around your eyes? That's the key. That's what signals true warmth. When you combine strong, relaxed eye contact with a genuine smile, the effect is potent. You've landed a 1-2 punch that says you're both confident, friendly, dominant, yet approachable. That combination is incredibly attractive and makes it way more likely she'll feel comfortable enough to make the first move. Trick number 3 is all about what your body is saying when you're not even thinking about it. You could have the best eye contact and the warmest smile, but if your body language is screaming, "Leave me alone," you've already lost. We've all seen the common mistakes: arms crossed, shoulders hunched, holding a drink high against your chest like a shield. These are closed postures that subconsciously signal you're defensive, uncomfortable, or just not open to talking. To make her want to approach you, you need to project an open and relaxed posture. Think about taking up space. Confident people aren't afraid to occupy the space they're in. Stand with your feet about shoulder-width apart. This gives you a stable, grounded appearance. Keep your back straight and your shoulders back, not in a puffed-out, tough guy way, but in a relaxed, tall posture. Most importantly, keep your arms uncrossed. Let them hang at your sides, or maybe put one hand in a pocket if that feels more natural. Just avoid burying both hands deep in your pockets, which can signal insecurity. If you're sitting, the same rules apply. Don't cross your arms and legs tightly. Instead, lean back comfortably. If you're with friends but want to stay approachable, just angle your body slightly outwards from the group. This creates a small physical opening that non-verbally tells outsiders they're welcome to join. This taps into some deep primal wiring. Open body language signals trust and a lack of threat. You're metaphorically exposing your vital organs, which communicates on a subconscious level that you feel safe, in control, and have nothing to hide. This, in turn, makes her feel safe. When a woman is deciding whether or not to approach a man, her sense of safety is a huge factor. By maintaining an open, relaxed posture, you're creating a non-verbal welcome mat that makes her decision to walk over and say hi feel a whole lot less risky. Okay, trick number 4 is a bit more advanced and requires you to pay attention, but man, is it effective? It's the art of subtle mirroring. Mirroring is when you unconsciously mimic the body language or gestures of the person you're with. When you do it correctly and subtly, it builds an incredible sense of rapport and connection. It sends a subconscious message that says, "Hey, we're on the same wavelength. We're alike." Now let me be clear. This is about being a copycat. If she scratches her nose, you don't immediately scratch your nose. That's just obvious and weird. The key here is in a slight. Here's how it might play out. You've made eye contact, you've smiled, your body language is open. You notice from across the room that she's leaning on the bar with her left elbow. After a minute or so, you might casually shift your own weight and lean against a wall in a similar way. If she tilts her head while listening to her friend, you might do the same a little later in your own conversation. The goal is to match her general and energy, not to copy her every single move. This non-verbal synchrony creates a feeling of familiarity and comfort. When she subconsciously notices that your body language is in harmony with hers, she feels more connected to you before you've even spoken. It builds a sense of we-ness that makes approaching you feel natural, almost as if she already knows you. This technique is powerful because it bypasses the analytical part of her brain and speaks directly to her instincts. You're basically building a non-verbal bridge between the two of you, and once that bridge is there, she'll be far more likely to want to walk across it. This 5th and final trick is a specific eye contact technique that takes the vibe from friendly to flirty. It's often called the flirting triangle or the triangle gaze. It's designed to signal clear romantic interest and can create a powerful moment of attraction that almost compels her to act. Here's how it works. Instead of just looking from one of her eyes to the other, you create a triangle with your gaze. You look at one eye, then shift your gaze to her other eye, and then you briefly drop your gaze down to her mouth before bringing it back up to her eyes. The whole thing should be smooth, slow, and deliberate, taking just a few seconds. Why is this so effective? Looking at someone's eyes builds connection, but when you intentionally drop your gaze to their lips, you are non-verbally communicating something entirely different. You're signaling that you're thinking about her in a more intimate, physical way. It's a subtle cue that suggests you're thinking about kissing her, and that can be incredibly alluring. Now this is a move you've established a connection with the other tricks. You've made eye contact, shared a smile, and gotten a smile or a double glance back. When you feel that spark of mutual interest, that's your moment. The glance at her lips should be brief. Just a second. Any longer can feel too aggressive. The key is that quick, suggestive glance followed by returning your gaze to her eyes, maybe with a slight, confident smirk. This one move can completely shift the energy. It takes things from passive interest and injects a dose of romantic tension. You've laid your cards on the table without saying a word. You've shown confidence, warmth, and now undeniable attraction. You've created such a strong psychological pull that for many women the curiosity becomes too much to ignore. They'll feel an almost magnetic urge to approach you just to see where this unspoken conversation leads. Alright, before we wrap up, here's a pro-level social hack that ties this all together. It's using a false time constraint. When she approaches you, and if you use these tricks, she will, one of the most powerful things you can do is preemptively say something like, "Hey, I've actually got to meet my friends in a second, but I wanted to say hi." This does two brilliant things. First, it takes all the pressure off the interaction. Second, it subconsciously frames you as a busy, high-value person with things going on. It completely reverses the dynamic from you to get her attention, to her needing to be interesting enough to your attention in the short time you have. If you found this advice valuable and you're ready to become the kind of man who attracts women naturally, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. And if you've watched this far, I know you're serious, so comment magnetic down below.